Hey insiders, it's your girl Nicole, NR the Insider, back with some more info for y'all. Today's video is about to be some real tea. So I'm sure you guys have heard many people tell you that you shouldn't go to law school because of this. It costs too much, it's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to that. I'm here to tell you why you should go to law school. From somebody who's about to graduate, from somebody who has, I would say, been fairly successful in law school, there are many reasons why you should go to law school. So I'm about to drop those gems so you can go and feel encouraged to go and ignore the haters, okay? So make sure you like and subscribe and comment, because if you like, you'll get more content. If you comment, you'll get more content, okay? There are so many things you can do with a law degree. Oftentimes people think about law degrees as, or people that aren't familiar with the legal field think about people defending criminals, or I don't even want to say criminals, people that have been accused of crimes, or maybe locking people up, or maybe corporate law, but they don't really know what that means. But there are so many different avenues. There are so many different things you can do with the JD. There's tax law, there's healthcare law, tech law, entertainment law, the list goes on. If you like football, you can go work for the Baltimore Ravens or the Arizona Cardinals, shout out to them. If you like tech, you can go be general counsel for Facebook. If you want to support women's rights, you can go work for a women's rights organization. Literally so many things you can do. If you like international, if you want to be an international lawyer, you can do that too. You can do trade regulation. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I think that's one of the really exciting things about going to law school. There's so many different paths you can take and so many different things you can do with the law degree. And all of them aren't even necessarily legal avenues. So there are lots of people who end up, for example, working on the Hill, where you don't need a law degree, but having a law degree is going to propel you. So you're gonna get paid more, you're gonna be able to climb the ladder a little quicker. There are also people who wanna climb the corporate ladder, and they don't necessarily need law degrees, but if you look at the bios of people who are CEOs, or not even necessarily CEOs, but also like vice presidents or head of this region, blah, 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 a lot of them have law degrees because they got those valuable skills, and people put respect on their name because they got the JD next to it, okay? I also would like to add that since there are so many different things you can do with the law degree, your career path can just be so interesting. Like, I've met people who have gone from public interest law to big law to working on the Hill to working for President Obama, you know, shout out to OBZ. There's like so many different paths that you can take. And for me, somebody who doesn't like to just commit to one thing, I think that's like so exciting because there are so many interests that I have. And I know that with this law degree, somehow, some way I can figure out how to connect all these different interests into what I want to do. Even if that means you want to work for, oh, you only want to do nonprofit work. I mean, there's so many different nonprofit spheres that you can be a part of. Like, it's just so crazy, and you can connect all the things that you're interested in. So I'll give you an example to be more specific. So I like antitrust, and I also like politics. And as of late, antitrust has been in the news. They've been doing all these congressional hearings about Facebook and I guess like the tech companies, right? And so I've thought about ways to connect my interest in antitrust to politics. I have other friends who like to litigate, meaning they want to go to court. And when you go to court, I mean, pretty much every single different type of law has to go to court at some point. So if you want to go to court and you also want to do antitrust, you can do that. I don't want to go to court. I'd rather be sitting there writing papers and advising people, but that's another thing that I can do too. I met this guy who had done some immigration law, some corporate law, and a couple of other things. Like, there's literally so many different, I just can't emphasize this enough, insiders. You can do so many things with your law degree. You can make your life whatever you want it to, but just go to law school. Like, don't let these people convince you not to go. Because if you've never been to law school and you've never been in the legal world, then you really don't even know, honestly. And for those of us who don't have any family members that are lawyers, I mean, you don't know. You can read this stuff online, but go to law school, okay? Just go. So there's a common misconception about law students and legal professionals, that everybody's type A and mean and super crazy and competitive, but that's not true. Most people that go to law school are somewhat competitive because law school, as you know, unfortunately, is pretty much based on how you compare to others. But a lot of people are also very nice and humble and down to earth and friendly. Like, there are a lot of introverts that I go to school with too. People that don't want to get cold called, don't want to raise their hand in class, like all kinds of people. So don't feel like you need to be some kind of extrovert or that you need to be really good at communicating, networking, have a big, bright person. Like, none of that stuff matters, okay? As long as you're in law school for the right reasons, you care, you want to learn about the law, whatever the reasons are, that's why you should go to law school. Don't sit here and think about your personality and where you're going to fit in and where you're not going to fit in. And also, you might change a little bit in law school too, which is fine if you do and if you don't. I know for me, I've become a lot more confident in my speaking abilities since I got to law school. But before that, like, don't talk to me, like, networking, what even is that? Like, so you develop these skills in law school if you want to, but don't feel like you need to be this super good oral communicator and extrovert and all that stuff. Be who you are and go to law school, and you're gonna find your path. So law school has been one of the most challenging experiences I've literally ever had in my whole life. And I was a student athlete, been through all kinds of crazy stuff. But law school, I don't know, I think it takes the cake. So one of the reasons why law school is so challenging is because you're developing many new skills that you've never really worked on. So I'm sure you've done a lot of writing and maybe some research in undergrad and high school, but the type of writing that you do in law school and the research that you do in law school is just so different. And you're gonna become a much better communicator because of that. So writing is a skill that you're gonna use for the rest of your life. And when I look back on the writing that I did in undergrad and high school, it was decent, but it was nowhere near as good as the writing that I do now as a law student. And part of that is because of the rigorous training that we go through. Now, a lot of people in our capitalist society only think about how much money they're gonna earn when they're developing a new skill. But writing is something that is going to literally take you anywhere you want to go. It's going to last you forever, and it's going to help you be a better communicator. Not even just written, but orally as well. I think that I've learned to express my ideas a lot better and to just communicate better in general. So the writing that I've done in law school, and internships and classes and everything has definitely changed my whole perspective on written communication and oral communication. And that's such a valuable little gem that I'm so grateful that I have. And you know how I got that? Law school. You're also going to learn how to advocate. Advocate for yourself and advocate for others. Two very important life skills. So first, you're gonna learn how to advocate for yourself because literally in law school, you're gonna be doing interviews every other month, all the time. There's always an interview for something. Whether it be an internship, a position after graduation, position in law school that you want to get on, there's literally interviews for every single thing. And when you're doing those interviews, you're learning how to advocate for yourself. It's very hard for us to compliment ourselves and to talk about the skills that we already have and what we know we can bring to an organization, but you have to get more comfortable with that if you want to progress in life. You know, we talk about the elevator pitch and having those different things, but going through law school is gonna force you to be able to talk about yourself and to really highlight the skills that you developed and what you can bring to the table. And that is something that is gonna last you forever. You also learn how to advocate for others. Now, in this, you might be advocating for a big corporation if you're working in big law, advocating for the state if you're a prosecutor, advocating for a homeless person. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But learning how to support other people and advocate on somebody else's behalf is also a very, very good skill that you're gonna need for the rest of your life. Even if you don't want to practice law forever, you're gonna need to know how to persuade people to support your organization, people around you, anything, even your kids, you know? So, going to law school, you're gonna learn how to write, you're gonna learn how to advocate, and you're also gonna learn how to research. I think that's a little bit self-explanatory, but I'll just say that I thought legal research was gonna be completely like focused on like legal websites and legal scholarship, but no. We often use Google and websites that you can use, but you don't really know how to use them in the same way because you ain't been to law school yet, okay? Writing, research, advocacy, boom, 3 skills, gonna take you where you need to go. The people that you meet in law school are gonna be some of the most powerful, amazing people that you will ever meet. And it's crazy because like we be going to clubs, going to parties, playing beer pong, but you never know how these people are going to end up. Because one day you could be sitting next to the next president, next CEO, the next ambassador. You just never really know. And I think that's so amazing. And I know everybody says your network is your net worth, but it's so true. And as I've gotten older, I've learned that. And I think some of the opportunities that I've had in my career are because of people that I know. Of course, you got to have the skills and abilities, but the better connected you are, the more you're going to succeed in life. So going to law school, you're going to develop a crazy network. And these connections are really natural. Like you join a club, you sit next to somebody in class, all kinds of things. But your law school network is really going to take you far, and that in itself is worth it. If you are on the fence about going to law school, here is NR the Insider, whoever I am. I don't know how important this is. Here is me telling you to go to law school. It is going to be worth it. Hopefully one day, President Joe Biden will cancel these student loans, but that's okay even if he doesn't, because it's going to be worth it in the end, okay? Yes, go to law school. So insiders, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need some more encouragement or you have any questions about law school, make sure you comment down below. Bye.